I greet you in the traditional Muslim way by saying, peace be upon you. Thank you, Reverend Len, Gary, Mayor Edwards, President Maisie. What can I add to everything that has been said? Before I call myself a Muslim, I'm part Jew, I'm part Christian, because I have to believe in all the preceding prophets and all the scriptures that were revealed to these. So I am very comfortable with everyone. I was born and raised in Pakistan. I have been in this country for the past 45 years. I have raised a family. I live in Perrysburg. I belong to the Islamic Center. And I have enjoyed a wonderful life living with people like you and Bowling Green. This is my vision of Americans. I have never felt discriminated. I wear this crazy thing in my nose, and I wore it when it was not the fashion, and it's only for the girls, guys, nothing for the guys. And I remember that walking, there would be a little child tugging at his mom, Mom, woman has something in her nose. And he said, you kind of, and I know what and I just smile and said, would you like to know what that is? And they kind of just, and the mother is profusely apologizing for her child. And I'm saying, well, you know, I decorate my fingers, my dress, I have a big nose, so I got to decorate that too. That basically is why we do all these piercings and put all these things. You know, I'm not going to go into my faith. Everybody knows what Islam is. I would like to tell you something where I grew up, and that is what has really helped me understand, influenced me as a human being. I was born and raised in Pakistan, got all my education over there. Being from a 100% Muslim country, I went to a Catholic school all my life. I was very comfortable going to church. I still remember my Christmas carols, I sing them. I still have my Bible, I still have my hymnal, along with my Quran. That has made me, I think, a better human being. I celebrate with everybody. I just met my Buddhist friend, and we were in Cambodia and Vietnam 3 weeks ago, enjoyed that. And my experience has been living in this country for such a long time and meeting diverse groups of people that at the core, we're all the same. What hurts me hurts the other person. What makes me happy, my strive for what I want to achieve in life are the same. We don't have a monopoly. Islam, I understand, as has been kind of touched upon very gingerly, that these are trying times for all of us. These are trying times for all of us. Doesn't mean that it's going to end, but I think it is groups like this, efforts of what you guys are doing, not in my city. If everybody takes ownership and does something small towards it, hopefully we will be better off. You know, talking about my own experiences, like I said, I went to a Catholic school. I had Hindu classmates, I had Muslim classmates, I had Shia friends, I had Sunni friends. There was no problem with that. All of a sudden, this thing has become such an important thing to dictate as to how we treat each other. Those laws, those commonalities are in every faith of love, respect, justice, as Reverend Lynn put in her words. Those are what should dictate who we are towards each other. My experiences in this great country have been absolutely, I can't even count on one hand. I'll tell you an interesting story. I worked for Skybank for about 17 years. And one day a gentleman walked in and wanted me to do something which I couldn't do for that person. So I tried to explain what my limitations were. And from his demeanor, I could tell that his vocabulary choices were not very good. And as I was raised by a mother, no profanity around anything, no. And so he used all the four-letter words he could find in the English language and started the conversation with that. And inside I am going, okay, I can't do this thing for you. I'll try and explain the legality of this. yet at the same time, please don't use profanity because that's not going to go in your favor. And as he's leaving, he said, "Anne, you need to go back to the country where you came from." I said, "Excuse me, sir? Were your parents American Indians?" And he said, "No." And I said, "You and I are going to get on the same boat. You may get off early, then I will have to go further down." But my point being that, I don't blame the gentleman. He was limited in certain ways, but I don't think he understood what I said. I don't think. But at least I was at peace with myself that I said what I needed to say. So, in the end, I would just like to say that let's continue on the path that everybody has enunciated. I really liked what the superintendent had to say, that that's all what we are striving for. And in Northwest Ohio, we are blessed. You don't know. We as immigrants, we all tend to get together and we talk about, what. And all of our experiences have been very positive. Yes, far and in between, I see Mr. Shaheen over here, a successful businessman in a small northwest town of Bowling Green. I live in Perrysburg. The biggest Islamic center is over there. We've had good relationships with everybody. Let's continue on that path. Let's respect each other. Let's learn from each other. Let's be curious. Let's ask questions before we make a judgment. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.